So, for those of you who were with us for the last video, you already saw exactly what went down when Lupe Fiasco got into what might be the most incoherent hip-hop debate this platform has ever witnessed, and things got petty in a hurry.
Kendrick Lamar, what's the problem?
Why is his name in your mouth? I can't do the same for you. That's what I want to know.
I ain't mentioned Dot at all.
What are you talking about?
First.
10 years?
I ain't even said nothing.
You've been saying it you've been talking about Dot for 10 years.
You're not Kendrick Lamar. You're not signed to TDE. You're not on PG Lang. You're a fan. What's the problem?
Lupe, I'm closer to you than you are to Kendrick.
And today, we have an update on Lupe Fiasco addressing that debate directly, along with where he actually stands when it comes to Kendrick Lamar.
Eminem, Lil Wayne, and there's a rare few guys like that. There's you, there's King Los. I'm not shy about mentioning their names in any circle. That's what they deserve.
More on that in a moment, but today we're also taking it back in time to when Jay-Z broke down what it was actually like when Eminem came the closest any rapper has ever come to achieving a Michael Jackson level of fame within the hip-hop space. And what brought this back to my attention was a recent interview with former Hannah Montana star Mitchell Musso, who opened up about what it was like during the peak of those Disney years when Eminem and his team would bring a younger Haley to their shows.
Dolly Parton,
and
Jonas Brothers.
Not just like guest stars. If you weren't on the show, you were in the audience with your children. You know what I mean? You got Tom Cruise and Connor right there. You got Will Smith and Jaden. You name it, they were there on that set, right? Especially if you were somebody, because you know everybody, and hey, my child wants to come watch Hannah tonight. Of course, we will. Eminem, okay, and you have to bring guns. Can Eminem, okay, you know what I mean? Obama's coming with this, okay, yeah, of course.
Obama and Eminem really came for Hannah?
They were asking, Eminem called and said, we have to bring guns though, just so you know.
For protection.
Just so you know, we have to bring guns. If it's Eminem, you know what I mean? Dude, I went on tour. When I was touring, Haley would come to my concerts with her friends and her people, Eminem's people. And I've lived this surreal life. Still doesn't feel real. Still is, I just sort of live it.
You had Tom Cruise and Connor right there. You had Will Smith and Jaden. You name them, they were showing up on that set. Because when you're somebody at that level, everybody knows everybody. And if your kid wants to come watch Hannah Montana tonight, the answer is always yes. Of course, we'll make that happen for you, Eminem. And oh, you need to bring armed security with you? Absolutely. Get Eminem in here. Obama's coming with his children? Yes, of course, come right on through. And that's exactly the point Mitchell Musso was making. Obama and Eminem genuinely showed up for Hannah Montana. And when Eminem's team called ahead, they made one thing very clear up front. They would need to bring firearms for protection. That's just the reality of what Eminem's life looked like at that level of fame. And Musso went on to describe how when he was out on tour, Haley would come to his concerts with her friends and Eminem's security detail in tow. Even now, he says it still doesn't feel real. He's lived this extraordinary life and somehow still processes it like it's just something that happened to him, rather than something he fully absorbed. Now, while this clip sparked plenty of reactions online, Reddit threads full of laughing emojis, people saying this was the most random thing they'd ever stumbled across on a scroll in 2026, it actually served as a genuinely solid throwback to what the 2000s felt like at their peak. Because just like Eminem rapped about the weight of his own fame on Careful What You Wish For, Jay-Z back in 2010 sat down and described in his own words what it was actually like being around Eminem at the height of his stardom. And what's striking is that even Jay-Z, a man who has lived at the very top of this industry for decades, was genuinely taken aback by what that level of celebrity actually required. Jay-Z recalled Eminem coming into the studio during the making of Moment of Clarity for the Black Album, which Eminem produced. It was 2003. The Eminem show had already taken over the world, and Eminem had moved something in the range of 20 million records worldwide, a number that was nearly impossible to comprehend at the time. But when Eminem walked in and Jay-Z went to embrace him, he could immediately feel that Eminem was wearing a bulletproof vest underneath his clothes. And Jay-Z said he couldn't imagine what it felt like to reach that level of success and have that be your daily reality. Here was a man who had wanted nothing more his entire life than to rap and be successful. And the moment he finally got everything he worked for, there was this permanent dark cloud hanging over all of it. Jay-Z went on to explain how the massive beef between 50 Cent and Ja Rule, which involved real people with real stakes on both sides, meant Eminem had to operate on constant high alert. He couldn't even walk around New York City freely. And Jay-Z's reflection on that was genuinely heavy. Here it is, he said. You got everything you ever wanted, and now you're a prisoner of your own fame. That's a sad reality when you're wearing a bulletproof vest after selling 20 million records. And fast forward to today, and somehow we live in a world where rappers who have never come within a million miles of that level of success are openly questioning why Eminem travels with security. The likes of Benzino and others have actually brought this up as some kind of criticism, with absolutely no frame of reference for what it's like to exist at that stratosphere of fame. It's the equivalent of asking why Michael Jackson needed security. The question answers itself if you have any real understanding of what that life actually looks like up close. Moving on, Lupe Fiasco has now addressed that now infamous debate he had with Quality that continues to divide people right down the middle. On one side, fans are questioning why someone of Lupe's caliber is even engaging in these kinds of back-and-forth exchanges with reaction content creators in the first place. On the other hand, some people believe Lupe is simply bitter and can't seem to let the Kendrick conversation go no matter how much time passes. And then there's a third camp that genuinely agrees with Lupe's position and believes he's a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar, straight up. The debate is still very much alive, and Lupe has decided he has more to say about it.
So when I pick up my phone and wipe the coal out my eye and I see you interviewing with a nigga that should not get the interview.
These ain't interviews.
What do you call them?
I'm gathering data, and I'm allowing people to talk themselves into publicly saying the exact thing I'm saying. So these same people that hold that, well, I'm such a pariah and I'm such a bad guy and a villain, which I am. I'm saying y'all are too, because y'all think the same thing I think, and you just said it. Now, whether you said it quick and you package it up in the midst of something else, or you're saying you were being facetious or whatever you masked your admission. Yeah, and not only in front of people, on private conversations and phone calls that I've had with people over the past few days. You think the exact same thing. The only difference is you care. I don't. Secondly, you're at the mercy of your community. I'm not. The Lupe Fiasco fan base is strong and long and deep, and they don't give a fuck about none of this, right? But your fan base does. And if you go against them niggas, oh, you're cooked. So you're gonna toe the line, period.
Now, before we go any further, just to clarify what's actually going on here, when Lupe is talking about this situation, he's referring to Quality, the content creator who debated him about Kendrick Lamar. Lupe's position is that Quality's entire fan base is heavily stacked with Kendrick stans, which means Quality can be very careful about how he navigates any conversation involving Kendrick. Essentially, Lupe is suggesting that Quality can't really speak freely or give an honest assessment when it comes to Kendrick because doing so would put him at odds with the very audience he depends on.
Right, now okay, so hear me out. Obviously you didn't hear my rant, right?
No.
So you a Chicago nigga, right?
Yep.
And if what I said was, if Lupe is Jordan and it comes to any kind of smoke lyrically, I'm Pippen, right? So if I'm Pippen, right? A guy, no matter what, it don't matter what is being said, it don't matter what's happening, I'm here. So it's like when my man is taking the shots, I'm like, oh, wait, I could take these shots too. Hold on, and I'm stepping in front of some of the bullets too. Because so when you was on that live that day, and you was like, and I was like, yo, what's going on? Niggas is at me. I didn't know what was going on. Niggas like, yo, your man wildin'. And I was like, so I had to do some research, and I was like, yeah, what up? I'm good. Once I see what's going on, I'm like, okay, yeah, what's up? I'm with it. You good? And then niggas be like, all right, bet. And they fall back. And the same thing here. When you said what you said with Rosenberg, and we had to talk, tag him to it. I was like, look, my man said you better than homie. And then that shit just from that.
And he said yes. He said you could have put me down the list. You didn't have to mention me first. And I spoke to Rosenberg directly, and I said, you only mentioned you first because I just heard you. Your name was in my mind recently because I was looking at some battle shit and your name popped up. I was like, oh, fuck, Rosenberg, bro. And I thought it was another nigga. I was like, what's that? And that was it. But he said, yeah, just put me further down the list. He didn't want to be first.
Right.
That's all. But he said yes.
I mean, we're all supposed to say that we're better
No. That's that competitive spirit, and that's the cop-out. I'm saying Objectively.
I never, but wait, I never.
Yeah, people ain't gonna say that, so Lupe will say it. People ain't gonna go out and protest, but Lupe will. Lupe's not gonna be the first one to say the thing that everybody says now, because niggas was too worried about losing their record deals. Lupe wasn't.
For the record, when people ask me certain things about me and my skill set and where I rank, I constantly and consistently say, please don't rank me. Everybody is better than me because I don't want.
But that's not true.
Yeah, but I have to say this only because I don't want
To get cooked.
I don't want people to think that my ego is taking over or whatever. And I don't want the niggas that they say that quote unquote I might potentially be better than can feel away. So I say these, when you were saying that stuff with Royce and you were like, Mickey Fact's better than you, nigga. And I was like, no, I'm not. Because I do not like, but I don't like being put in these positions, because then when I actually got to show it,
you feel bad. But listen. You know my criterion for best in the world shit. It's not that you're the best all the time. It's just that on any given day, you could do something, and on that day, you're the best in the world. And there's nobody in the world that can do that. And there's a rare few guys like that. There's you, there's King Los,
yep.
There's Absol IT,
yep.
A$AP Rock,
yep.
And with Sandman, OT. And the list goes, it's a big list, Osiris Anthem. On a given day, they will to do something, perform something, and make something. And in that moment, they're the best. There's nobody in the world touching what they just did.
I agree.
And those are the folks who I'm not shy about mentioning their names in any circle. That's what they deserve. That's the fruits of your labor and how much you put and dedicated yourself to the craft. And I'm just talking about bars, so entendres and bars and putting things together. I'm not talking about songs and beats. I'm not talking about any of that. That's the standard. And if you're one of those people, if you're one of those aliens, Eminem, Lil Wayne, on that given day, you are the best in the world. And there's nobody who can fuck with you. And to not be able to say that does a disservice to the craft. And I put the craft over everything. I don't give a fuck about anybody over the craft, right? The craft is most important. You know how thoroughly and real that I feel about that. The other permutation, the music business don't mean shit to me. I hate the music business. I hate that shit. I respect it, but I hate it. So I'm not gonna bite my tongue. And even with Royce the 5'9", on any given day, he can do something, be the best in the world. Black Thought, any given day, he can do something, be the best in the world.
Agreed.
I just mentioned dudes with record deals. Don't let me start mentioning dudes without, because then they get real spooky. I got students in my class at MIT that are so nice and so nasty that I got to make them do dumb shit. I force them to, because I want them to have a full scope. They come in fully complete. And I challenge, my goal with them is to bring them down so they can understand what simplicity looks like, so they can develop range. And nobody knows who they are, but I do. I see them 14 weeks out of the year. Insane. I go back and listen to whoever, no way, right? All that to say, bro, like I've always been the dude who said what needed to get said and spoke truth to power. And that's just what that's going to be. But I'm also fair, and I don't...
And this is going exactly how you'd expect so far. One user expanded on the criticism, saying Lupe is out here going on a podcast and reactor tour writing Kendrick's name with crying and laughing emojis attached. Basically, Lupe should be thanking Kendrick for the promo boost. And while you'll find people who have no problem with Lupe saying he's lyrically better than Kendrick, the issue was that specific comment about knowing 50 to 100 rappers who were better. That's the talking point they keep avoiding. And clearly, this user didn't get far enough into the interview to see Lupe actually address this. We're also at a point now where some believe that just like Eminem has been Zeno and Jay-Z has Dame Dash, Kendrick has found his own version of that. This is pathetic. He really is Kendrick's Dame Dash. And from the reactions I've seen so far, while many agree Lupe Fiasco is the better rapper than Kendrick, they also believe he's hating when he claims he knows 50 to 100 better rappers, because it just sounds like hyperbole. And that's the real issue, because Lupe keeps standing on this take. I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for taking your time every day to watch these videos, and I'll see you on the next one.